Asgari. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Heitor. It's a pleasure to be with you here as well.
Well, Omid, let us know more about your work and about yourself.
First of all, thank you so much for your invitation to join to this discussion. I would introduce myself. Omid has two sides of the coin. One side is pure curious, like a baby, to explore the world, the knowledge, and as an academic a guy that who loves to do research. That is one side of the coin, where I'm doing research at Nova School of Business and Economics here in Portugal. The other side is totally different, is very pragmatic, practical, executive in one of the leading, I would say, European neuromarketing company here in Europe, that we are operating in Estonia. Our headquarters is in Estonia, in Netherlands, in Germany, and in Portugal, and also in Middle East as well.
Well,
so it's two sides.
Omid, I would like to ask you about neurobranding and how this can impact business services. How applied neuroscience can help us understand consumer decisions?
I would like to highlight 2 points. The first point is consumers are very difficult to decode. So I would say decoding decisions of the consumer's mind is quite intensively, heavily budget required for lots of companies, because they have to understand what's going on in the consumer's brain. And that is something that it's been very interesting for all the companies, because they can, at the end of the day, they can reduce their risk, and they can increase the efficiency and effectiveness and productivity of their marketing and branding campaign. This is one thing that I want to highlight. The other thing is not just about the cost, it's just about we need to have the right communication with the right message to the right brain. I'm big fan of your slogan. It's all about the brain. Yes, yeah. It's exactly. It's all about the brain. And if we don't know what's going on in the brain of the consumers, our communication is going to be wrong in a way that we spread our brand, and at the end you are investing huge amount of money and you don't have, let's say, beneficial, fruitful result. And that's, I would say, it's two-dimension for neurobranding, how neurobranding can impact on the business. It's decreasing the cost, increasing the efficiency. This is just two aspects.
I can see that you are now under the water.
Yes. Yes. First of all, I'm a big fan of Portugal. That's why I'm here, and I love oceans. And also, I want to use this analogy that traditional branding is something like, for example, you can swim in the ocean without equipment, without, let's say, right tools. It's just 2 meters. You have to come up with on the top of the water, and you need oxygen, and you need to have breath, let's say. And but with neuro branding technologies and concept and insight is exactly what we are doing. We are go, and as a scuba diver, go to the top down of the ocean of the consumer's subconscious mind, and understanding what's going on here, and then we can record the biometrics, let's say, information and data, and we can extract from the ocean's subconscious level of the consumers what can be beneficial for brands, for the personal brands, in order to enhance and increase their brand equity. And that's exactly what we are doing at DCG Lab.
It means that human beings are not so rational as we think they are.
I would say yes and no. I'm big fan of my hero, Portuguese academic hero, Antonio Damasio, that he's stating his state that we are not thinking machines that feel, we are rather feeling machines that think. So I'm not saying we are not rational, but our emotions are shaping how we rationalize the reality. And that is something that we need to understand more and more, because if you don't understand emotions, you cannot really understand what's going on. Also, I'm not denying rationality, but rationality is effortful. Let's say it requires a lot of effort for our brain.
Yeah.
But when you do the decision with your emotions, is effortless for our brain, and it gives you decisions that it requires a lot of effort for your rationale. So as a complementary concept, I would say system 1 and system 2, which is kind of simplifying this concept, is not exactly like this. Daniel Kahneman didn't mention about that we have one system and another system. He just point out in order to simplify the concept. It doesn't mean that we have part system 1 and system 2. It's just simplifying the concept. But this is so important that we need to understand where and in what situation we are more relying on our rational brain, and where and in what conditions we are more relying on irrational side of our decision-making system. So I would say I can answer your question in this way, that we have to keep both as a two wings for flying. Without one, you cannot fly. Without the other one, you cannot also fly. So you need to have both.
Can you give us some examples how companies can benefit from this kind of knowledges, and how they can benefit from your experience regarding neurobranding or even neuromarketing?
We can do lots of things, but as Barry Schwartz is saying, less is more, and our brain cannot really digest a lot of information. So I simplified what we are doing in 3 aspects as a golden triangle that we have. It's starting from user experience, then it goes to the customer experience, and at the end it goes to the brand experience as the 3 angles of this triangle.
Okay.
Why user experience is important? Let's imagine as a longitude the journey, customer journey for a brand. The first interaction, the first touch point for your brand is as a kind of user, because it's a first impression. And after that, it goes to the being a customer, and the customer experience and also user experience is quite different, the level of maturity. And after that, it goes to the being a brand experience. And what is the difference between these 3 angles is, I would say, a chemical, biological phenomenon that I would say is a chemical of trust. Because if we have trust, if we build the trust, we can transfer from as a user, as an experience from a user to the someone who is, let's say, loyal to a brand. So from the customer journey perspective, we have a journey, and the journey is a starting user and UI experience, user interface. Imagine for your digital, let's say, business, it doesn't matter whether it's digital or physical. I mean, the experience is matters, and it's totally related to what we are experience. Let me give you one example. You don't forget your wedding experience. Never ever, whether it is positive or negative. But this is the only night that you don't forget ever. And that's because one condition, which is emotion. Because if whether you have positive or negative emotion and arousal, emotional arousal in that conditions, let's say in the event, as an experience, as a whole experience. And that's the thing. For example, you are not thinking, oh, 20 years ago, I should do this as a rationality. Your brain is digesting as a whole experience, which is related to emotions. So let me say that brands should stop anything which is not emotional. Because if you don't have emotional message for the brain, for reptilian brain, it is absolutely irrelevant. You see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, this example is for an advertisement, very successful advertisement that we analyzed, and it's in FMCG, fast moving consumer goods, in detergent. And the idea that this ad gives us is kind of bringing the emotions, the delight, the fun, and this is the essence of this advertisement. We analyzed, and then I will show you, for example, the comparing between two products. And as you can see, we can see where the eyes are going. And when the people, they are smelling this guy after using this detergent, you see the emotions, it goes very high. And it's very simple, but it's very effective. So it was just a simple message, which is like a olfactory sense that we have a good smell in this, let's say, product. And you can let's say, let me show you again to describe. And here in this thing, you can see they are comparing for different competitors as well. And then here you have the good smell, and all people fell in love with you. So nothing about the detergent, but it's emotional connection that people, after using this specific brand, they will love you. And you see the audience, you see this green diagram, it shows the delight, emotion from your audience. And that's what exactly neuro branding can help to the brands to identify. Let me give you another example.
My fair share of bumpy roads and heavy winds. That's what made me what I am today. Now I stand here before you. What you see is a body crafted to perfection, a pair of legs engineered to defy the laws of physics, and a mindset to master the most epic of splits.
where the day flows, only time. And who can say if your love grows as your heart shows, only time. We are there, we are
Had
So this was one of
Yeah.
the examples that Volvo did a great job, I would say, using the right influencer, showing the stability with the natural power of one martial art through Jean-Claude Van Damme. And it's purely the sound, the music, the video. Actually, they did the right thing. Very simple message with the implicit and explicit, let's say, transferring the message to the audience.
Well, Omid, it was really a pleasure
So
to,
much,
to,
Heitor.
to have you here in this online meeting. And I want to thank you,
For
the time you spared and share the knowledge you share with our customers about neurobranding and all these kind of knowledge that have huge impact in our organization. Thank you very much, Omid.
so much for the opportunity, and for more information, you can always visit our website, which is www.dcglab.co. We have lots of information in our website, and feel free to contact me any doubt, any question, any meeting. I'm 24 hours available to discuss something that I really love. And my last message is doing what you love, loving what you do. And that is important in the life. So I love all the things related to the decoding what's going on in the human brain, which is very complex, at the same time very enjoyable activity, because it gives you totally an adventurous journey inside of yourself. Because if you know better yourself, you can react better, you can really see in a different perspective. And that is my motivation, and I'm very open to any discussion, any collaboration which is in line with decoding decisions. And thank you, especially thank you during all these years of friendship and working together. And it's a pleasure always to contribute in all your activities.
Well, thank you very much, Omid, and
Thank you.
see you the next time.
See you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.